Wild Waves is the largest theme park in the state of Washington. Servicing the Seattle metro area, this park was originally known as Enchanted Forest, and for a brief time, it was even owned by Six Flags. But now it goes by Wild Waves Theme Park to reflect the water park becoming the more popular half of the park. That being said, the amusement side still has a decent mix of attractions when they are all operational, and that part can be a bit of an issue. But in this video, I will count down the top 15 rides and water slides at Wild Waves. Before starting the countdown, I need to note a few rides that will not be featured in this list. First, there will not be any upcharge attractions. This means you will not see the Soaring Eagle zipline. This does look pretty cool though because it starts over the water park and travels over the central lagoon. You also will not see the park's 12-story tall sky coaster, the I-5 Dive. Second, you will not see the Gambler. This chance Trabant had an outside shot of grabbing one of the lower spots, but it has been closed in both my visits. Third, you will see all the major water slides on this list. This is what the park is known for with their locals after all. However, the activity pool was closed, so I was unable to try the shotgun slides. These slides launch you through the air into a pool. Based on similar slides I've experienced elsewhere, I suspect it would have placed ahead of a few of the amusement rides further down the list, but I at least got to try their larger, more unique slides. Starting off the list at number 15 is the Dodgems bumper cars. I will openly admit I have not had the best experience in these bumper cars. I rode with a lot of younger kids who struggled to operate the cars and they kept on getting stuck. This made it difficult to get rewarding collisions. The cars had pedestrian speed and power, but there were a good amount in the arena at least. Number 14, Kanga Bounce. This Zamperla roundabout is a series of cute bouncing kangaroos. While I was optimistic it would have a lot of airtime, this is targeted more towards families. Most of the bounces are mild, but every so often you'll get a faster jolt upwards giving a tiny bit of airtime. Number 13, Scrambler. This classic Eli Bridge spinning ride has a pretty good top speed, resulting in sustained laterals combined with the usual barrage of near misses. Number 12, Disco Flashback. This is a standard Zamperla disco, and that's not a bad thing. You get a pinch of weightlessness on the spikes, and get plenty of disorienting spinning start to finish. Number 11, Pacific Plunge. Once called the Mountain Dew Slides, this tower has 3 different tube slides. 2 of them are average, but one has a series of constrictor turns offering a smidge of force. Number 10, Zuma Falls. This is a family raft slide. It has solid length plus a mix of enclosed and open segments. You have small dips along the route. Most of the turns aren't too wild, but there is one halfway through that goes really high up the wall. Number 9, Conga Slides. This is a quartet of tube slides. These ones have faster pacing and some wilder turns than Pacific Plunge, especially because a chunk of the experience takes place in near total darkness. Number 8, Lumberjack Falls. This Intamin Shoot the Chute was relocated from Opryland and is the lone water ride in the amusement side. When I saw the double down, I got excited it would deliver some surprise airtime like the one at California's Great America. While the drop was zippy, it did not have any airtime. The final splash is refreshing though, and not soaking. Then the return to the station, you pass a series of coin-activated sprayers that honestly can get you wetter if people are feeling charitable. That's how you get soaked in this ride. Number 7, Wild Thing. This is an Aero Loop Screw Coaster. The drop doesn't give the abrupt ejector airtime like a lot of Aero Loopers, but it does have a little floater in the back. Then the vertical loop piles on the positive Gs. The rest of the ride isn't too strong though. You have some choppy turns and corkscrews. This isn't too much of an issue if your head clears the top of the over-the-shoulder harness, but smaller riders may get a handful of headbanging. Number 6, Riptide. This is the park's best pure water slide. It is your standard tube bowl slide. The main plunge is not too steep, but it's long and builds up considerable speed. Then you get 2 or 3 laps around the giant toilet bowl, which is always a novelty. Number 5, Raging River. This is the best attraction at the water park and it is a unique one. This experience blends aspects of a lazy river, pool, and water slide all into one experience. A lot of the ride is spent slowly floating from one waterway to the next, and since it takes place in a hill, you have some scenery too. Then you have some small slides connecting each section. Don't expect any thrills, but the sudden slide sections keep you on your toes. Number 4. Brain Drain. This is an S&S double shot. The view is not as good as many drop towers out there due to the adjacent hill and trees, but the side facing the lagoon offers a solid view. In terms of forces, it's also a bit weaker than usual. The launches are relatively forceless, but you do get some airtime at the top. These smaller double shot towers usually offer abrupt jolts of ejector at the top, but this one only offers decent floater airtime. Still good for the park though. Number 3. Klondike Gold Rusher. This Zamperla Wild Mouse does not seem to operate often, but it has its merits when it is operational. This one runs nearly unbraked, so the laterals are great. They're good on the top section as you'd expect, and they get stronger as the ride progresses. They are extremely sharp in the last 2 turns. You will be mercilessly slammed sideways. These lats compensate for the lack of negative Gs. The drops in this one are simply too shallow to produce any airtime. Up next would have been the Ring of Fire. This was an old school Larson Super Loop that has since been removed. The ride was fairly claustrophobic as riders were boxed in these cages, but you got some spectacular hang time over the top. That being said, the ride did become redundant due to the ride I'll talk about next. Number 2. Brax. This Zamperla inverting pendulum is a more enjoyable hang time machine. You are far more open, especially if you sit on the ends. This one does not have as many partial swings. Instead, you spend most of the cycle getting full revolutions, and with their slow speed, you'll hang out your seat for seconds at a time. Just don't expect too much in terms of positive Gs. And coming in number 1 is Timberhawk Ride of Prey. This is a rare S&S wood coaster, and it's the only coaster at this park with a custom layout. I love this ride's placement on a woody hill in the back of the park. If you visit on a day when the park is open after dark, there isn't much light back there, so night rides are quite fun on this coaster. And it's reasonably smooth outside of 1 or 2 valleys if you sit in a wheel seat. However, have your expectations in check. As I said in my review, this ride has the thrill level of a family coaster. It is not the most forceful ride. That being said, it does have some good moments. There are 3 notable airtime spots. The first drop is pretty good airtime in the back row. Up front, you get decent floater airtime in the second hill, and a solid pop entering the L turnaround. Then several directional changes offer spurts of okay laterals as well. So those are the top 15 rides and attractions at Wild Waves theme park in Washington. While I only spent time on the dry side my first visit, I made sure to try the water slides in my return trip, especially because that seems to be the larger draw. What are your favorite attractions at this park? Let me know your thoughts on any of the rides I mentioned or any you think I may have missed down in the comments. If you enjoyed this countdown, I would appreciate it if you gave this video a like, and you considered subscribing, because there'll be a lot more roller coaster and amusement park videos here at Canopy Coaster. Thanks for watching.